Manchester United begin the 2025-26 season in a cloud of stark contrasts, caught between the weight of their glorious past and the harsh reality of the present. Last season was nothing short of a nightmare. A meager 42 points in the Premier League left them languishing in 15th place, their lowest finish since 1974. And if that wasn't painful enough, a 1-0 defeat to Tottenham in the Europa League final slammed shut the door on a return to Europe's most prestigious stage. Those failures laid bare a team stripped of belief, a club whose spirit had been shaken to its core. Change was no longer optional. It was inevitable. The summer of 2025 brought with it a revolution. Despite whispers of financial strain, United's hierarchy went all in, spending over £200 million to rebuild their attack. The goal was clear: fix a blunt forward line that had managed just 44 league goals last season. In came the firepower: Benjamin Sesko, Matheus Cunha, and Bryan Mbeumo, each arriving with the promise of pace, flair, and goals. It was a bold statement of intent. The days of lifeless football had to end. The marquee signing: Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig, snapped up for around £66 million, plus £7.4 million in add-ons. At 22, he's tipped to be the spearhead for years to come. Tall, quick, and ruthless in front of goal. Alongside him, United landed Matheus Cunha from Wolves for £62.5 million and Bryan Mbeumo from Brentford for £65 million. Two players whose speed, technical craft, and mobility should inject fresh dynamism into Ruben Amorim's attacking blueprint. There was even a nod to the future, with young talent Diogo Leon arriving from Cerro Porteño. But with arrivals came departures. Johnny Evans, Christian Eriksen, and Victor Lindelof all left at the end of their contracts. Marcus Rashford was loaned to Barcelona, while a string of youngsters, Dan Gore, Ethan Wheatley, and Antony, also headed out, the latter returning from a spell at Real Betis and now up for sale. And perhaps the biggest question mark of the summer hangs over Alejandro Garnacho, with Chelsea reportedly ready to table a £40 million bid for the electric young winger. On the transfer front, United are still scanning the market for missing pieces, with Brighton's Carlos Baleba high on their radar to reinforce the midfield, and even Gianluigi Donnarumma under consideration. The Baleba deal could become one of United's headline moves in the final days of the summer window, though it won't be straightforward. Brighton have slapped a hefty £105 million price tag on the 20-year-old, making negotiations anything but simple. At the same time, reports suggest the club are willing to part ways with Rasmus Højlund for around £30 million, freeing up wages and balancing the books for fresh signings. But perhaps the most encouraging sign this summer isn't just who United are targeting, it's how they're going about it. Gone are the days of charging into the market with noise and desperation, inviting inflated fees. Instead, there's a clear, deliberate strategy. Secure personal terms with the player first, ensure they genuinely want to join, then approach the selling club. It's a measured approach that's already paid dividends. The Benjamin Sesko deal is a textbook example. Before they even spoke to RB Leipzig, United knew the striker's heart was set on Old Trafford, despite Newcastle's interest. The same was true for Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo. United quietly reached agreements with their representatives before making an official bid. This marks a seismic shift from the chaotic, big-spending image of old. It also gives the club greater control over the media narrative. Fewer leaks, less speculation over fees, and less ammunition for rivals or journalists to exploit. More importantly, it sends a crystal-clear message within the dressing room. If you don't truly want to wear the United shirt, the club won't waste its time. That clarity allows Ruben Amorim to build a squad bound not just by contracts, but by commitment, a group of players who choose to be here for the project, not just the paycheck. The summer of 2025 has signaled a clear shift in leadership philosophy and transfer strategy at Manchester United, a club now aiming to rebuild its culture, not just chase superstars or quick results. At the heart of it all is Ruben Amorim, a manager who has made it clear he's here for the long haul. He's spoken openly about his desire to stay at Old Trafford for the next 20 years and his refusal to repeat past failures. His ambition? To restore United to the heights they enjoyed under Sir Alex Ferguson. Amorim's vision is rooted in team culture. He's adamant that changing the club's identity isn't solely the manager's responsibility. It has to be embraced by everyone, from the dressing room to the boardroom. Speaking at a press conference in Chicago, he stressed that the most important ingredient is unity. That sense that players, coaches, and staff are all pulling in the same direction. For him, a strong team is one truly connected, a bond that has to endure even through the rough patches. His plan centers on rebuilding United's internal fabric, establishing a core leadership group with Bruno Fernandes at its heart, tightening discipline, raising internal standards, and creating a training environment where players are self-driven rather than pushed into grueling double sessions. The results have been visible already in pre-season: lighter moods, sharper focus, and a renewed positivity in the dressing room. When it comes to players who are no longer part of his long-term plans, Amorim is clear-eyed and composed. He believes they deserve time to reflect on their futures. The club has firm valuations for each of them, and if no suitable offers arrive, they remain Manchester United players. But in an environment where everyone must earn their place, there's no emotional exile here, just a competitive, merit-based atmosphere that pushes every player to prove their worth. Ruben Amorim is molding Manchester United in his own image, a side built on high pressing and direct attacking, anchored in a fluid 3-4-3 system. Every line moves in sync. The forward line, led by new signings Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo, constantly interchanges positions, linking up with Bruno Fernandes to create a tempo that is both rapid and razor-sharp. The game plan is clear: win the ball back high in the opposition half, deny them time to build, and exploit speed down the flanks. Mbeumo brings blistering pace and quality delivery from wide areas, while Cunha offers ball retention and smooth link-up play that keeps attacks flowing. In midfield, Kobbie Mainoo is tipped to be the metronome, the connector between defense and attack, while teenage prodigy Leny Yoro has quickly become a defensive pillar, reading the game with the composure well beyond his years. Yet, the flaws are evident. United still lack a commanding central midfielder capable of dictating games at the highest level. Casemiro's legs are slowing, and Ugarte hasn't yet provided that spark. Chance conversion remains inconsistent, a recurring theme in pre-season, where dominant possession often ended in wasteful finishing, relying instead on opponents' mistakes to find the net. Set pieces continue to expose vulnerabilities, hinting at a defensive structure that isn't yet watertight. And while Amorim's 3-4-3 shows promise, it doesn't fit every player like a glove. Certain roles still misfire, especially against opponents who press back aggressively or exploit gaps in the inside channels. If United are to unleash the full force of this new identity, Amorim will need to iron out those kinks, and fast. With the squad at his disposal and his preferred 3-4-3 system, Ruben Amorim now has a lineup that feels balanced, blending pressing, pace, and possession in equal measure. In goal, Andre Onana remains the undisputed number one, even if questions over his reliability linger. The back three of Matthijs de Ligt, teenage prodigy Leny Yoro, and Luke Shaw offers a mix of speed, defensive intelligence, and ball progression from deep. On the flanks, Ahmad takes on the demanding role of right wing-back, pressing high, driving into the box, while Patrick Dorgu patrols the left, bringing forward thrust and dangerous low crosses. At the heart of midfield, Bruno Fernandes orchestrates as the creative conductor, with Manuel Ugarte acting as the destroyer, breaking up play and providing defensive balance. Up front, Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha operate as roaming attackers, linking play and stretching defenses for Benjamin Sesko, the towering striker tasked with finishing moves in a variety of ways. Mbeumo offers pace and width. Cunha brings link-up play and unpredictability, and Sesko is the final destination for United's attacking waves. With this setup, United can press high, control the tempo in midfield, and switch from defense to attack in an instant. The potential weak spots remain in central midfield depth and defending set pieces, but this is likely the strongest framework for Amorim to embed his philosophy from day one. The signs have been promising: pre-season wins, sharp training sessions, and a renewed sense of purpose. After finishing a miserable 15th last term, United's realistic goal for 2025-26 is a return to the Champions League places. For Amorim and the board, it's not just about the league table, it's about the first steps in rebuilding the club's culture and identity. With over £200 million worth of summer reinforcements in Sesko, Cunha, and Mbeumo, the pressure is on to turn pre-season optimism into tangible results. Their absence from European competition this season might be a blessing in disguise, giving them the freedom to focus solely on domestic football, perfect the pressing game, build consistency, and instill a winning habit. For Amorim, this is about laying the foundations for a long-term project, one that aims to restore Manchester United to the status of genuine title contenders in the years ahead.